This is a slideshow demonstrating a step-by-step process of painting the portrait of John Hunt Morgan. General Morgan is a famous hero of Greenville, Tennessee, my adopted southern hometown. He was killed in Greenville in 1864. He was a raider in the Civil War. The General Morgan Inn in Greenville bears his name. In addition to his fearless cavalry raids, I find it poignant that his wife was pregnant with their first child when he died. His daughter, Johnny, never met her father. Photography had been introduced prior to the Civil War, and black and white images of John Hunt Morgan are available. I chose a portrait painted by one of my favorite artists, John Singer Sargent, to assist with skin tones and composition. This is a Sargent portrait of Robert Louis Stevenson. I enjoy recreating historical paintings based on artist styles of the same period. I started my painting by priming a hardboard and giving it a warm wash of raw sienna. I used multiple references of Morgan and the Sargent painting to create a new and different portrait of Morgan. One of the changes to the Sargent's piece is changing the chair. Wicker just doesn't seem to be the right look for Morgan. I'm going to have him seated in this chair given to me by my grandmother. The basic block in, the pose from Sargent with Morgan's face superimposed. Morgan was not one to slouch. I can already see emerging problems in figure proportion with the foreshortened torso of Stevenson and the portrait landscape of the upright John Hunt Morgan. The main colors for the background are yellow ochre, raw sienna, burnt umber, and ultramarine blue. I tried to block in the predominant tonal values before going too far into the piece. This demonstrates the analysis of the skin tones of Sargent and the black and white tonal photo of the Morgan headshot. White, Naples yellow, and cadmium red are added to the palette for the skin tones. Okay, getting a start. I often start with the darker values, then move to midtones, and finally the lights. The values relate to each other so much that I find it best to get an overall block in again before getting too caught up in the details. I went ahead with the likeness to an almost complete stage, but I'll regret it later. Working around the image, I have nearly completed the background cabinet. Preliminary work on the chair and boots. The other boot goes in and pants. Something is still wrong with the proportions. The head is just too big. I've had to reduce the size of the head. I glazed the background wall to the right with purple to help it recede. I've lightened the floor to help with depth perception. Basic blocking of the hands. Still have the figure size off. Something is still wrong. What is wrong? What if I drop this chair seat? Drop it a lot. It's time to revisit the hands. This is as they were before. The next stage, I will probably leave them at this loose rendering. Back to the boots, pants, and chair. Morgan is nearly complete now. Here is a close-up of his face, portrait shoulder shot, and the finished painting. Almost. I will stare at it for a while before signing. The boots are too bright still. I may add planks to the wood floor, some detail work to his shirt, lighten behind his hat, maybe one more go at him.